What if everything you thought you knew about the end of the world was wrong? Not fiction, not superstition, but precise warnings, left behind in stone, scrolls, and forgotten chants by civilizations long gone. Civilizations that somehow described in unnerving detail the exact chaos we're witnessing today. They didn't have satellites or science, but they knew something. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? That's the question no one dares to ask out loud, but everyone feels deep down. Because let's face it, the signs are here, and not subtle ones. We're talking biblical floods, skies on fire, invisible plagues, and global unrest. And that's just this year. The same ancient texts people once laughed at now read like breaking news. Is it all just coincidence? Or did humanity miss a crucial message meant to prepare us? Here's the real kicker. What if the apocalypse isn't a sudden end, but a long process that's already in motion? A hidden timeline we're sleepwalking through step by step, the kind of thing only the awake can sense, and the wise prepare for. It's time to stop scrolling and start seeing. What's coming next has been written. The only question is, will we finally listen? Did ancient scribes really see what was coming? Scrolls written in isolation, centuries apart, whisper of one thing, the end. Not just any end, but our end. It's as if voices from the past reached through time, carving warnings into stone and parchment, hoping someone, anyone, would listen. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? That's the question echoing louder now as what once sounded like myth starts looking a lot like tomorrow's headlines. These aren't bedtime stories. They're survival manuals in disguise. From the dusty tombs of Mesopotamia to the preserved libraries of Alexandria, scripts have described cataclysms with eerie precision. The Sibylline oracles spoke of cities drowning in blood and skies torn apart by fire, centuries before we even imagined nuclear war or climate collapse. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? Scholars used to dismiss these as metaphors, but now even the skeptics are raising eyebrows. Why do different civilizations with no contact between them all write about a time when the earth turns against man? One of the most haunting examples lies in the Book of Enoch, a text once banned and buried, now rising back into discussion. It speaks of watchers, celestial beings punished for mingling with humans, who reveal forbidden knowledge that leads to destruction. Sound familiar? With today's obsession over AI, genetic modification, and the unknown consequences of playing God, the parallels are hard to ignore. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? You might start to wonder if those watchers were warning us about ourselves. Over in India, the Puranas take a different but equally chilling tone. They speak of Kali Yuga, the Dark Age, when truth withers, chaos reigns, and man becomes slave to desire. Doesn't that sound like the world we scroll through every day? An age where lies go viral faster than truth, and meaning is replaced by distraction. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? The more we look, the harder it is to deny the shadows creeping from those pages into our present. Even the Hopi prophecies from North America, rooted in oral tradition, warn of a time when the Earth's balance will break. They speak of spiderwebs in the sky and a blue star crashing down. At first glance, poetic, but dig deeper. Those spider webs eerily resemble our communication satellites and the blue star. Some now link it to near-Earth asteroids or mysterious cosmic anomalies. Again, the apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? It's not just mysticism, it's starting to sound like a briefing from NASA. So why would civilizations oceans apart all scream the same message across time? Either it's an astonishing coincidence, or something far deeper is at play. These scripts don't just describe what will happen, they often tell us why. Corruption, hubris, the rejection of nature, flaws repeated like clockwork in every era. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true, or are they merely unfolding exactly as expected? But what's even more unsettling is that these prophecies don't just end at doom, they hint at something after. Isn't it strange how cultures that never met, never traded, and never shared a single word, all describe the end of the world in the same way? Floods that drowned entire civilizations, firestorms that scorched the skies, darkness that lasted for days. These aren't just fantasy tales. They're mirrored myths, repeated in every corner of the globe. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? It's like a cosmic déjà vu, a warning passed from one generation to the next, disguised as legend. Take the Great Flood. Almost every major culture has its version. From Noah's Ark in the Bible to Utnapishtim in the Epic of Gilgamesh, and even Manu in Hindu tradition, they all speak of divine punishment through water. Different names, same outcome, a world reset. Was it metaphorical or a fragmented memory of a shared event? The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? Some geologists argue a massive meltwater pulse around 10,000 BC could have triggered this myth on a global scale. And then there's fire, the ultimate purifier. The Norse warned of Surtur, the fire giant who'd burn the world during Ragnarok. The Aztecs believed in multiple suns, each ending in elemental chaos, one by fire. Aboriginal Australians spoke of skies igniting in sacred dreamtime stories. How did fire become such a universal symbol of ending and rebirth? The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? With wildfires now consuming entire regions, it's hard not to feel the heat, both literal and prophetic. Darkness, too, plays a chilling role in nearly every apocalypse myth. In ancient Egypt, the sun god Ra is swallowed during the end times. In Norse tales, the sun and moon are devoured by wolves. Even the Bible describes the sun turning black and the moon like blood. These weren't primitive guesses. They were vivid, visceral images of a reality far too familiar today. Solar eclipses, dust-choked skies from volcanic eruptions, or nuclear fallout. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? Maybe we're starting to see them with new eyes. It's almost like these stories weren't just cultural expressions. They were encoded warnings, gifted through myth. Think of it like ancient predictive programming. They didn't have satellites or climate models, but they had something else. Observation, intuition, and a deeper connection with the rhythms of Earth. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? When the same symbols repeat across history and geography, perhaps they're not just coincidence. They're instruction manuals we never learned to read. What makes it even more fascinating is that these recurring elements, water, fire, and darkness, don't just represent destruction. They're also tied to transformation. Civilizations saw these forces not only as punishment, but also as purifiers, setting the stage for something new, like a forest fire clearing dead wood to make space for fresh growth. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true, or are they clearing a path to something else entirely? The idea of a reset appears too often to ignore. Remember 2012? The world held its breath, waiting for some cosmic hammer to drop. Spoiler alert, it didn't end, but maybe it did shift. The Mayan calendar wasn't predicting a doomsday. It was marking the close of a cycle, an age. That end wasn't a finish line. It was a reset switch. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? Maybe they didn't miss the mark. Maybe we misunderstood the message. What if 2012 wasn't the event, but the doorway? The Maya weren't obsessed with destruction. They were masters of time, cycles, and celestial motion. Their long count calendar mapped eras like seasons of the cosmos. Just as winter leads to spring, they believed one sun dies so another can rise. Their glyphs speak of great upheavals at each transition, civilizational resets guided by the stars. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? If 2012 ended a cycle, are we now living through the chaos of a new one being born? What most people never heard is that Mayan texts describe multiple worlds that came before ours. Each ended by natural catastrophe, earthquakes, fire from the sky, global floods. And guess what? These endings were tied to human behavior. Greed, arrogance, disharmony with nature. Sound familiar? The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? Maybe this isn't just about watching the sky. It's about watching ourselves. The Maya weren't just tracking time. They were tracking consequences. Some glyphs hint that after the fifth sun, the age we're in now, humanity would face a test of consciousness. Not a war of weapons, but a war of truth, soul, and awareness. The chaos isn't punishment, it's a choice point. Will we ascend or repeat the cycle all over again? The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? The answer may depend less on fate and more on our next move. And right now, humanity seems more divided and distracted than ever. Curiously, many other ancient cultures also describe the world as unfolding in ages or cycles, from the Greeks' golden, silver, bronze, and iron ages to Hinduism's Satya, Treta, Dvapara, and Kali Yugas. Different names, same idea. Time is not a straight line, it loops. The Mayans weren't outliers. They were part of a global pattern of cyclical thinking. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? Or are we simply riding another cosmic turn of the wheel we never knew we were on? And if this truly is the dawn of a new era, it won't come quietly. The Maya believed the birth of a new age would be painful, like a storm before clear skies. Old systems would fall, truths would be revealed, the veil between worlds would thin. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? The Mayan calendar might have been misunderstood, but it wasn't wrong. It was just the prologue to something bigger, something still unfolding. Look around. Can you feel it too? Like the world's humming with tension, barely holding it together. Fires ravaging ancient forests, skies turning orange, oceans rising where streets once stood. It's starting to feel less like coincidence and more like prophecy. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? When ancient scrolls and clay tablets warned of plagues, flames, and civil unrest, they might have been describing our morning news. Let's talk pandemics, the sudden spread of disease across nations. In texts like the Book of Revelation, we read of pestilence riding in as one of the four horsemen. The Hindu Puranas mention plagues as signs of the Kali Yuga. Even Hopi elders warned of a gourd of ashes bringing sickness across the land. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? It's chilling how ancient languages spoke of invisible killers long before we had microscopes. Wildfires now consume millions of acres annually, just as the Norse myth of Ragnarok foretold the skies would burn. In Australia, Aboriginal legends spoke of firestorms reshaping the land, long before climate change became a buzzword. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? Maybe these weren't just natural disasters. Maybe they're part of a script humanity's been stubbornly following for centuries, too proud to turn the page. And what about wars? Global tensions are boiling over, from Eastern Europe to the Middle East. The Mahabharata described a war so devastating that the sky darkened and iron weapons lit up the horizon, eerily resembling modern bombs. The Bible warned of nation rising against nation, and here we are, again. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? These signs aren't just warnings. They're reflections of human choices, echoes bouncing back at us through time. We're also seeing environmental collapse, mass animal die-offs, melting poles, poisoned waters. The ancients believed when the earth was angry, it spoke through nature. In the Popol Vuh, the gods once destroyed a version of mankind for disrespecting creation. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? We treat the planet like an infinite resource, but what if it's been trying to warn us, and we just stopped listening? And here's the twist. These signs aren't spaced out anymore. They're overlapping, accelerating, becoming louder, like dominoes falling faster with each push. One disaster triggers another, spiraling into something bigger. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? Maybe the signs aren't beginning anymore. Maybe they're screaming. And if that's true, what comes next? Imagine a wheel turning, slow, steady, inevitable. Ancient cultures believed the world didn't end abruptly. It cycled, and according to their calculations, we may already be deep into the final turn. The Mayans called it the fifth sun. The Hindus speak of Kali Yuga. The Hopi warn of a great purification. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? If the wheel is turning, we're no longer at the beginning. We're somewhere near the end of the script. The Book of Revelation describes a final age where the world falls into moral decay, deception rules, and humanity turns away from truth. Sound familiar? Social trust is fractured, lies spread faster than facts, and we're more divided than ever. Even technology, once our savior, now feels like a double-edged sword. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? When ancient texts describe the end as a time when evil becomes good and truth is buried, it's hard not to see the parallels. In Hinduism, the final cycle ends when Vishnu returns as Kalki, riding a white horse, wielding a flaming sword, to cleanse the world. But before his arrival, chaos must reign. Climate upheaval, war, corruption, the collapse of Dharma. Some believe we're checking off that list year by year. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? Not because we're cursed, but because the cycle demands it. Destruction, then rebirth, like fire clearing a field for new life. The Hopi predicted the arrival of a day of purification when humanity would face a crossroads. They said if we didn't return to balance, the earth itself would respond. Interestingly, they also spoke of beings watching us from afar, guardians of the cycle. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? If the cycle is real and the signs have all begun, then what comes next might not be avoidable, but it could still be guided. What's haunting is how these cycles all point to a singular moment, the thinning of the veil, a time when truth is revealed, illusions shattered, and humanity must confront itself. In Buddhism, it's the age of Mappo, the decline of the Dharma. In Zoroastrianism, it's Frashakareti, a final cosmic renovation. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? The idea that we're approaching a threshold isn't fringe anymore. It's starting to feel expected, and maybe that's the key. These prophecies never said the end was avoidable, but they did hint that awareness could shift the outcome, that those who see the signs can prepare, evolve, and help others do the same. The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? Or are they merely finishing a story we've been too distracted to read until now? So now you know, the warnings were never just stories. They were blueprints. Ancient civilizations weren't trying to entertain us. They were trying to save us. And if they predicted the world we live in now with such chilling precision, ask yourself, what else did they see coming? What truths are still buried in those forgotten texts, waiting to be understood before it's too late? The apocalypse prophecies, hidden in ancient texts, are they coming true? Or are we the final authors of this story? What if your role isn't just to witness, but to act, to wake up before the next domino falls? Could the real reset start not with governments or disasters, but with the awareness of those paying attention? Let me ask you this. Which side of history will you be on? The one that ignored the signs, or the one that decoded them? If questions like these stir something inside you, then you're exactly where you need to be. Stick around. There's so much more they didn't tell you, and it's all connected. Subscribe and turn on notifications to join the few who dare to look deeper, because this is just the beginning, and the truth is only getting louder.